Alright guys, so we have the massive update coming out tomorrow on Phantom Parade. Obviously we got the SP buffs, the sweet battle, the hidden potential, all that good stuff, right? But before we actually, get hyped for it, you guys need to know what characters are actually worth the investment, because the hidden potential system is available for everyone, obviously, but there's certain SP skills only given to certain guys, right? And on launch, there's going to be, I think, 8. There's going to be Yuji, Nanami, Nabara, Panda, Toto, Maki. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You and you, I think. It's something like that, right? Maybe Saki gets in there. Is that what it is? Hold on. Yeah, I was right. Okay, I was right. Okay, yeah, so that's the 8 on launch, right? So obviously, you guys need to know who's good and who's not, right? So that's what we have this video for, right? So before we get any further, please black flash that button for content. Road to 1k. We need to hit monetization, boys. I beg, please, all right? But anyway, let's go. Okay, so we have a little tier list here, but I want to look at myself. This is just for links, right? So first, I want to start with Panda, okay? Red Panda, because he's not on this list for whatever reason. I don't know if he's like too crap or something, but I can see why if that was the case, right? So obviously Red Panda, you'd think like, going into SP buffs, he'd be a monster, because right now he's not very good at all. There's like barely any uses for him whatsoever. So you'd think, this dude might, get the keys to the kingdom. He might be something alright, but that's where you're wrong, because barely anything changes. Like obviously he gets the adjustments. That's like, not with the SP buff. You don't get that with the buffs, obviously, but what you get is this skill 2 here, right? Which prior to the SP buff, it's just damage reduction, and then if you have more cursed energy, you get more damage reduction, 40% more, so you can get 55%, which is pretty nice, honestly. And then attack attraction and crit resistance decrease, right? And then with the SP buff, right, it does like barely anything different. It's what like this. So it just helps your team survive a little bit more. And apart from that, I'm not sure if I'm like a little bit blind, but I can't see any other differences. Like, what was the point of that buff? They've changed basically nothing, right? 15, yeah, 2 turns, 40, 1 turn. Okay, he gets 1 turn extra as well of pure attraction, right? Which I guess is alright, but again, I don't think this dude is really going to do anything. Like, what do you need attack attraction for? You might as well just have a nice unit there and have Red Inumaki get the old gauge up, and then, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, bro. It doesn't look very good to me, but, obviously there's that too, but that's not really associated with it. And here as well, we have down here, he just gets a little auto skill extra with, he increases his ultimate skill damage with each attack received. So, it'll go up by 130% at 12 attacks received. And you also have some extra damage reduction, right? So overall, I'm not very impressed. I don't want to waste too much time on someone who's really bad, right? But I'm not seeing anything redeeming with this guy. I can't lie. So he's going hell nah, bro. Like, I get his Panda. If you like Panda, go for it, I guess. But in that case, you wait till Green Panda. I'm sure he'll be way better. He already has kind of a bit more of a role, I feel like. This dude, not really. So I've got him in hell nah right now. So after him, we have Saki, right? And Saki, she's solid actually. So as you see here, she's S rank. Prior to her SP buff, I don't think she was doing too much at all. She was kind of like she tried being a bit of a DPS, but like a bit of a tank as well. I don't think she excelled at any of those things, but this is where she gets her buff. So prior to the buff, it's just damage and increasing her Taijutsu stat. And then here, obviously, she does a bit more damage. She gets attack attraction as well, which is nice. And then she'll get damage reduction as well. And then she'll get some HP sacrifice. So already, right, she's doing more damage. She's doing attraction and more buffs, right? And more damage reduction. So overall, so far, not too bad, right? Because you got to remember as well, her role kind of is to damage receive, decreased, right? So she's gonna want to tank, and yeah, right. So she has revival too with attack modification. So her whole kind of point is to attract attacks, and with her getting that SP buff, it actually helps her quite a bit, right? And apart from that, there's also this one, which is just a upgraded version of this, where she gets revival, you know, obviously revival status. She gets increased damage with each attack received, which she does not have here, obviously, which is actually very nice, I can't lie. And alongside that, there's also going to be double the amount when she has low HP, which is very cool, right? And here as well is pretty much the same thing, but at low HP especially, like prior to a res and post res, because post res you're seeing at low HP anyway, she's actually low-key a monster. Like, she's gonna be like tanking so much while attracting attacks too. I've got no complaints, bro. She's actually been turned into a pretty nice unit for the green team. Do I think she's essential? Obviously, probably not. You don't need to do it. There's other green guys out there that will get the job done for you, but I've got her in solid choice, bro, honestly, because she's a solid choice. Like, what more can I say? She's not there on launch, so you know, don't get too excited. They could add her straight away in the launch pool, but I'm not gonna count on it. They haven't really done that before ever in those kind of like buff situations. But again, they could, right? We just don't know. So after her, we have Megumi. You know, this dude has some niche uses in tower, as a stunner, as a bit of an AoE character. But what does he do post, you know, thingo, right? Post SP potential. So he has a ult buff, right? Prior to the buff, his V2 ult, so his second round of buffs. I'm not sure if Global got the second round. I think it might have been auto to, I'm not sure. It might be like just straight to the second round. I'm not too sure, but this is just the summon of the Totality Divine Dog. It would do his own break damage increase, do some damage, and then if the dog's already active, so the second ult, it will do the same thing, right? But yeah, so what it changes is, as you can see here, and that's a bit different, right? Yeah, so he shares the HP bar with the dog now, so it's not going to be like how it originally was, but just after setting a number of damage, it'll go away. Now it's kind of similar to Green Megami, where he actually shares the HP with his dogs, right? And apart from that, it's more damage, obviously. And then if the dog's active, I'm pretty sure it stays pretty much the same. Obviously, he also ignores darkness, which is cool, but overall, just more damage, shared HP, and then yeah, that's pretty much it, right? And there also should be the auto skill too, which will be just increased damage by 150%, which is actually pretty nice, can't lie. Hasn't got anything of that sort so far in his kit. And then that's going to be when in break, he'll get an extra 10% too, which is nice. And then if the dog is not active, he'll get ult charge rate by 40, so he'll get his dog way quicker out, which is really nice. And if he is active, he'll still get a little bit less ult charge, right? And then also if the enemy is killed, he'll get more damage with Jujutsu, right? So overall, again, like, I wouldn't say he's, again, not a must pick at all, but honestly, like, he's seeming pretty alright. I think Blue's pretty cluttered right now. As for like these kind of characters, I don't think there's any real spot for him. But there's niche uses, you know, the stunning is always nice. Nue doesn't change with the SP buff, so that's not the main thing anyway for him. But I guess he's doing more damage. His dog will stay out for longer, which will help with the damage. He's breaking more often now, so he has got his perks, don't get me wrong. Is he like a top tier choice though? Probably not, because you gotta keep in mind that these cost mats, right? Like your character grades, you don't want to be spamming your mats on everyone. You make sure you're doing the guys that are actually worth doing, right? So I've got this guy in Only If You Like, because Megami is cool, but there's more Megamis out there already which are better, more worth your investment, even if there are no other SP Megamis out right now. But that's my 2 cents. Next we have Mechamaru, alright? So Mechamaru, I know he's pretty solid too. Prior to his SP buff, again, not really doing anything too crazy at all. He's kind of like a weird unit where I think I went over him a couple of videos ago, where he's just doing some counter stuff, and that's really about it. But with the SP buff, he's gonna get a bit more damage increase. He's gonna attract the enemy's attacks now, which is nice. So he'll get the counter guaranteed, right? Because prior to the SP buff, no attraction, meaning that his counters are only if the unit targets him. But now it's a guaranteed target, right? Which is actually pretty helpful, don't get me wrong. And it should do a bit more damage as well, right? Yeah. So counter will do a bit more damage as well, which is nice. And as for this as well, it will also buff his ult a little bit more. So prior to this, as you can see, it did... break damage by 250. Again, now it's 300. Bit more damage, and that's about it, right? So overall, nothing too crazy, but the attraction does help because in top advantage stages, he could actually cook quite a bit, you know, with the whole attraction counter stuff. I think I like him, I can't lie. I still wouldn't really pick him. Yeah, I think personally yellow hasn't got a spot for him. So these are really like budget options if you don't have the meta, I guess. But I don't really like saying the word meta in PvE games because at the end of the day, it's what you want to use, right? And unless you have to use a certain unit for a tower stage, which I don't think it's like quite gone to that point yet. I think stuff is still beatable without the newest characters, but it's much harder, right? So obviously he'll help if you don't have like Zone Yuji or something, for example, but you don't need him. I'm gonna put him here again. I mean, he is solid, don't get me wrong, but I'd put a few guys over him, right? So next, by this ranking, you just can already see where this is going, bro. Blue Toto. Why are they doing my boy Toto so dirty, man? Like, not only is his and every other character that he has in this game incredibly, you know, dookie booty, but like the buff as well. Like, seriously, game? Like, come on. So what we got here is we got a bit of damage reduction, which by 12%, which is nothing. At level 1, what is it? 10. Wow, that doesn't do anything. But okay, also we have a bit of HP recovery, and then if you have Asakata's guidance, which I think is on his ult. I look, he forgot, right? Okay, yeah, okay, on his passive. Yeah, bro, I don't have this guy, I look, he forgot. But anyway, right, so if he has that status active, which is on his passive, he'll get some extra damage reduction as well. And he'll increase his Taijutsu as well, when the little thing is active as well, right? So after the buff, he's gonna have the same amount of stuff here, which is I think it should be way higher. Personally, should have been way higher because he needs it, right? He needs it, but unfortunately, it's not like that. We have also a bit more 6 times for activating the thing. He'll evade enemies' attacks now, and also increase his stats by a little bit more, I think. No, exact same. Yeah, I don't know, bro. That's cool how he has Playful Cloud, but I don't know, bro. He's not doing enough. Like, honestly, he's not doing enough, bro. And his auto skill as well. I get here, he hasn't really got anything. Like, he's got the guidance thing, and he does get more like crit damage stuff as well. But I'm not seeing any use. I'm not seeing any use at all, bro. Straight in hell nah, bro. I don't want to waste too much time on these crap units because they're not worth it at all. Like, what you mean? All he has extra is a bit of crit. Like, that means anything. Like, he's probably still usable, but in what situation? Like, in tower? What? No. I don't get it, bro. I really don't get it. But Nanami next. He's not changing too much as far as I remember. All he really has separate is, I think, on skill... not even skill 3. I don't think. Yeah, nah. Okay, yeah, so his ult is going to be, I think, just a little bit more damage, if I remember correctly. So his ult, yep, going to be 638 combined, and then a crit further. He's going to, yeah, just more damage. And then for green type attacks, he's going to increase all enemies tied due to damage received. So obviously going to be a bit more of a helpful option now, and just more damage. So, and stop enemies' actions too. So stop, I don't really like that much because it's kind of like a weaker stun, because I find it just hits way less. So I don't know about that. But also here as well, he'll just get a further crit enhancement, kind of like his zone outburst stuff, but a more enhanced version. He's gonna have more turns of it, more crit rate, and then that's gonna be, yeah, sorry, increasing crit rate by 20% when Black Flash or crit hit is performed, right? So he's just doing what he kind of already did, but more often now. He's got more damage, more chances to crit. Overall, I like the buff. You know, after his little post adjustment thing, he wasn't too bad. As long as he hit those Black Flashes on skill 3, he was very solid in my opinion. Do I think he's a solid choice though? Seeing that there's 2 other green characters that I'd pick over him, probably not. So he's gonna be an only if you like. Maki as well. I don't wanna. Oh man, Maki. Okay, Maki I don't really like either. She's not doing anything crazy, right? So just her kit alone, she's doing like barely any debuffs, and when she is debuffing, it's basically useless, right? So as you can see here, there's nothing, just damage, raw damage. Then here as well, she's gonna increase her ult gauge and a taijutsu, right? So I guess for what it is a nice increase, but personally, I think it makes a little difference, right? And the skill the ult's gonna have it too, right? Which is gonna be over here. Bit more damage it's gonna be, and then it's gonna scale as well. So when she has higher HP, it will do a bit more damage, which I guess is nice. So it is gonna be like nice numbers, but like I think she's still not gonna be anything crazy personally. Like I think she could have uses as red DPS because she is gonna have higher stat multiplier, especially on her ult. Very nice multipliers actually, but I think there's just a red meta right now where she does not stand close. I'm gonna put her in only if you like because it is a nice buff, don't get me wrong, but with guys like Yuta, Toji, even Jumper Yuji, and then Nabara at the bottom I'm gonna get into, I don't think she has much point in being there at all, right? If you like her though, you know, by all means go for it, but I don't think she's, you know, that big of a deal, so that's why she's in only if you like. So next we have our Green Yuji. You know, on launch, I'd pick him to be honest, out of everyone else. I think he's just a solid upgrade, not doing too much extra, but what he has got extra is Knight. So his skill 3 is his first adjustment thing, right? So it's gonna do damage, obviously, crit resistance decrease, and that's about it. Obviously, he can backflash on it too, and the increase is gonna be just raw damage increased by double, right? Which is very nice. Increased crit resistance, and then also gonna charge his ult extra, which is very nice. And then he'll also get a slightly higher chance to do a backflash too, which is pretty nice. And also with his zone, he gets buffed as well, where he'll just recover curse energy by 10 instead of 5 per backflash. And then when his backflash is landed, he'll do 100% damage, 100% taijutsu stat, and then increase his own backflash rate by 100% too. So, you know, like overall, this dude has had one use really, and that's backflash, pure crit damage, and he's doing it better. So, honestly, he was pretty alright to begin with. Can't complain. I'm putting him in solid choice because he has a solid choice, you know what I mean, bro? Like, honestly though, I think he's just doing everything better than what he did previously, and what he did previously was pretty damn good. So, can't really fault my boy Yuji. Props to you, man. So, next we have this is what I've been waiting for, bro. This whole video, I've been stalling out these, you know, these bottom feeders for my boy. I can't say my glorious king because he's not, but my boy alien, bro. Jogo. Budget Sukuna, here we come, okay? So if you haven't pulled Sukuna, if you don't like Sukuna for whatever reason, Jogo's your man, right? You might as well just like sleep with a photo of him at night because he's gonna be by your side forever, right? I'm not kidding, by the way. This dude's crazy good after his SP buff, right? So his ult is his first buff, right? And prior to the buff, as you can see, it's done basically nothing at all. Obviously the damage, and he has a domain, so it's gonna have a, you know, guaranteed hit, flame damage, crit rate increase, damage don't increase, and then damage reduction and cursed energy recovery, right? And then post SP, it just flips all of it into like a crack version, right? So first of all, it's gonna have a little bit more damage. He's gonna have more domain turns, which is nice. He's gonna also have more flame damage by slightly more crit rate by slightly more damage dealt by, like, I guess it's 0.1, doesn't even matter that much, but yeah, so it recovers 80 instead of 60, which is very nice. And also here as well, right, he'll have a ghost lights thing where he'll increase his own Jujutsu stat and recover more curse energy, right? So as you can see, bro, like, my boy's gonna hit numbers, and then with the curse energy, you're gonna use this, right? Where it's some nice, you know, random, I don't know, to one enemy. Or you can do this route and go to selected enemy, which, you know, flame damage, it's gonna be, it's like lacerations, but flame version, right? So, you know, you can see where they want you to use this guy, pop your ult, get the buffs off, and then just like spam skill 2 and skill 3, get the flames off, get all that stuff off. It's looking very good for my boy Jogo, man. Like, damn. And also here, he's gonna have an SP buff here, where he gets an evasion chance, and then at the start of each turn, he'll increase his damage dealt by up to 30% with 60 curse energy, and then he'll recover his curse energy when it's really low, right? So overall, my boy's gonna hit like a truck. My boy's gonna have, you know, continuous damage, and overall, like the high stats as well. My boy's gonna cook. He's gonna actually cook. So keep in mind, like if you have Sukuna, you don't really need him. But if you don't have Sukuna, we want an extra blue god DPS. My boy's a must buff, bro. Straight, you know, like Jogo's an op to me. My two ops are Jogo and Green Nanami. If you guys have seen my videos, you might know why. You probably know why, but my boy's redeemed himself. So congrats to my boy Jogo. But lastly, we have the two Nabaras, right? Yellow Nabara, she's alright. Nothing too crazy. I don't want to go too long on her. You know, just the average nail, you know, little, you know, like nail gimmick. I don't really know how to say it, but her skill 3 gets the SP buff. Does a little bit more damage, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, a bit more damage. Gonna do, and then also it's gonna be when her HP is lower, it's gonna do more damage, do more range damage as well to the selected enemy. So it's gonna do extra damage dealt plus 6, which will do some nice damage. Also as well, over here nothing really else. Over here gets a whole stop enemy action stuff, and then decreases crit resistance. So if she lands those crits, she's cooking, right? And apart from that, there's also gonna be on her ult as well, where she's gonna what? Okay, so she's gonna increase the nail count too. She's gonna increase damage dealt as well, which, you know, obviously is a bit lower here, by up to 550%, which is very nice with 9 nails. She's gonna do a bit more damage as well, which is also very nice, and also gonna do more damage for yellow guys, right? So I've been noticing with these like SP buffs that they've really catered towards colored things, right? So the color meta's incoming, boys, so get ready for it on global. JP's already a thing, but yeah, so overall, just higher multipliers pretty much. Nothing too crazy with Nabara, just more damage, right? So with her, can't really argue too much. I want to say she's a solid choice because she's the best yellow on here right now, so that's fair enough. But Nabara, okay, straight up, before I even go into it, she's probably the best SP buff in the game. I guess she's on this tier list first, but her, oh bro, she has like a 1000% damage increase. She's actually mental. Okay, so first of all, we have skill 3, right, where already she has a damage dealt by 217, which is higher than this, and then if she has 11 nails, up to 942. What? So that's already like way more damage, and then plus on top of the extra 400 alongside increase of damage received, and then it'll go up to 25 with 6 nails, right? So obviously you're stacked, you know, 11 nails and then use skill 3 and you're cooking, right? And also she's gonna have a little auto skill here, which is Black Flash, increases her damage dealt, and Jujutsu and Curse Energy Recovery. Overall, you know, fantastic character. I can't really say anything else about her. Her multipliers are crazy with the right setup, obviously. I don't know if many use like the Nabara characters solely because I don't know, I feel like they take too long to set up. I'd rather use a Gojo, to be honest, but she's there if you want to use her. She's very nice, but got crazy damage. So that's the list, boys. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to Black Flash like buttons for content. Road to 1K. Let's go, run it back, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.